Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, all praises, honor, and the glory shall go to Yahweh. Ba'asham Yahushai, Ba'asham Makakodash Brakatham. Double honor shall go to apostles, elders, and bishops of Great Millstone who continue to teach and to rule well. Shalom to the Akims of Great Millstone and like-minded camps and individuals who continue to teach as one body, who continue to be out on the highways and byways, risking their lives for the greater good. And also shalom to sincere Aquats who are continuously learning in silence as the Holy Scriptures have commanded for you to do so. This is Azariah Gabar, representing the King is Coming channel, back at it with another lesson for edification purposes. Okay, so I want to touch on a subject that I'm pretty sure a lot of you Akims and Aquats out there are not familiar with. So the name of this title is going to be the Black Boule. All right, the Black Boule. So of course, y'all might be scratching your heads. Black Boule, what is that? All right, so the definition of Black Boule, it reads, Black Boule refers primarily to Sigma Phi Phi, the oldest African-American Greek letter fraternity, where Boule, from the Greek for Council of Nobles, signifies its esteemed postgraduate nature for prominent Black professionals focusing on leadership, social uplift, and community service. Through Boule can also mean a round bread loaf in French. Okay, and it also continues to say Sigma Phi Phi, the Boule, origin, founded in 1904 in Philadelphia by 6 Black medical professionals. Meaning, Boule means Council of Noblemen or Council of Chiefs, reflecting its statute or status as a prestigious body for established Black leaders. Okay? And purpose, provides fellowship, professional advancement, and community engagement for African Americans. Okay, so where I'm going with this is that you can also add actors, actresses, celebrities, even athletes to that list of the Black Boule. To me, I call it Black Boule, right? No, blue. Oh no, I'm sorry. Black. What's that word I'm looking for? Black bougie. Okay, that's the word. Black bougie. Because I'm sure y'all heard of that word, or that terminology, bougie, meaning, uppity, your crap don't stink, type of individuals walking around amongst our peoples. Okay? So I would call them Black bougies as well, as far as Black Boule is concerned. All right? So this is where I'm going with this. Because, of course, these fraternities and sororities, they practice Satanism, okay? They do. That's their mantra. That's what they do. They're Freemasons, okay? Listen, when I was going back in the day, in the early 90s, late 80s, I was going to college. When I was still in New York City, Long Island University. Listen, I had 4 frats. They were trying to come at me to get me recruited. The Phi Beta Sigmas, the Kappa Alpha Psis, Omega Psi Phis, and then there was this other African Nubian something, okay? All those 4 fraternities were coming at me, inviting me to their parties, their frat parties, in which I was going. Listen, I wasn't into this truth back then. Unfortunately, I was actually leaning towards Phi Beta Sigma, believe it or not. I was leaning towards that. All right. But guess what? The Ruach Kodash, even back then, stepped in and said, nope, don't do it. Son, do not do it. Don't go for it. So I didn't do it. All right. So, like I said, going into the Black Boule, I came across this video from this brother GMS Dedication. Okay. I would highly recommend anyone to subscribe to this brother, GMS Dedication. All right. Shalom to you, brother. I caught a video yesterday that he posted, and the title is They Worship and Serve the Creature More Than the Creator. Okay. And so you got this sister, Monique. I'm sure y'all know who she is from the Parkers, Queens of Comedy. Listen, she was funny as hell. I'll admit that back then. But guess what? Because now that she's been blacklisted from Hollywood, she has a whole lot of free time on her hands. So what does she do with her free time? She gets on this podcast and it reads, Monique tells Jesse Lee Peterson she doesn't do religion, says she belongs to the group called Love, quote unquote, and calls the universe her God. Okay? I'm not making this up. As a matter of fact, I took a screenshot. So let me display this screenshot. Okay? There you go. And there go Monique, right? And again, she fell into that 2/3 category. All right? Because she's saying that the universe is her Yahweh and not giving credence like she's supposed to the creator, which is Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai. Okay? So she's already marked for death. And she's already public enemy number 1. Because to me, she's coming off as being an atheist. And so we go to the book of Psalms 14:1, and it reads, to the chief musician, a psalm of Dawadah, the fool has said in his heart, and in this case, her heart as well, there is no Yahweh. They are corrupt. They have done abominable works. There is none that doeth good. Verse 2, the Lord looked down from heaven upon the children of men to see if there were any that did understand and seek Yahweh. In verse 3, here's the point. They are all gone aside. They are all together become filthy. There is none that doeth good. No, not one. Woo! Okay? So this is what I'm talking about with Monique, that actress and comedian. She falls into that category, according to the book of Psalms 14:1-3. Okay? And to further prove my point, she's not supposed to be out there trying to preach and teach. All right? Because according to the book of 1 Timothy 2:11, and it reads, let the woman learn in silence with all subjection. And see, this is a problem with a whole lot of these women. They're too stubborn, stiff-necked, and rebellious when it comes to this particular scripture. Verse 12, but I suffer, or but I rather not a woman to teach, nor to usurp or to seize authority over the man, but to be in silence. All right? Silence. Why do you think each and every lesson, before I start off my lesson, I give that salutation? Okay? And what do I say? You know, to the Aquads who continuously learning in silence, because the Holy Scriptures have commanded for you to do so. This is why I say this each and every time I do a lesson, because it says so here in 1 Timothy 2:12. Learning in silence, period. But let's be real. Monique, she's another loudmouth sister from the city of Baltimore, okay? Super loud, super duper profane, and super duper rebellious. And that's going to get her a one-way ticket to the lake of fire, courtesy of those ICBM nukes and those laser beam chariots. Because like I mentioned at the beginning of this lesson, she's been blacklisted and blackballed from Hollywood. So she has plenty of time on her hands. And what does that say in the book of Proverbs 16:27? And I'm going to read it in the TLB translation. And it reads, idle hands are the devil's workshop. Idle lips are his mouthpiece. An evil man sows strife. Gossip separates the best of friends. Okay? And it also reads, wickedness loves company. All right? But that's in the translation. So simply put, in Proverbs 16:27, when you're idle, when you got a whole lot of time on your hands, and when you're not on that higher spiritual elevation, these are the results of individuals like Monique. All right? And like I said, I classify celebrities and athletes into that category of being part of the Black Boule. Okay? Point blank. Because you have to worship Hashatan to make it far into this world. You know, the brother Apostle Gabar, he had a good point. One of his lessons some time back that I was listening to, and I'm just paraphrasing what he said. He said that you have to, or was that? The more you worship Satan, the farther you go in this world. And he is so spot on. That's real talk. Because remember in the book of Matthew, Yahushua Mashiach was on the mountaintop fasting, and Satan rolled up on him, trying to convince him and showing him the world, saying that, you know, all this can be yours if you bow down and worship me. And what did Yahushua HaMashiach respond with? He said, don't tempt me, Satan. I only worship my Father. Okay, I'm just roughly paraphrasing this, okay? So you know the likes of Monique, you got to be worshiping Satan. Now, like I just mentioned, it's up to that individual how far he or she has to succeed, what to do if he or she wants to succeed in this world. How far and what you're going to do for Satan. All right? Because he's not going to give you these riches and delicacies for nothing. No, he's going to want something in return, whether it be homosexuality activities or whether it be sacrificing your, relatives, offering them off to Satan as an offering. Okay? You have to do something for Satan, for him to give you the riches of this world. Okay? So just wanted to have this quick video. All right? As far as edification purposes, to be put out there. All right? So I'm going to always say the likes of LeBron James and the Kevin Harts. All right? Who else? Megan Thee Stallions, Beyonce's, Jay-Z's, 50 Cent, Diddy. All these individuals that I've named, just to name a few, are part of that circle of Satan. You heard? So you worshiping them, you worshiping Satan, and you got a missile with your name on it. All right? So that's going to conclude this very spiritual and edification lesson for this morning. And once again, all praises, honor, and the glory shall go to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Rakah, Kodash, Brakatham, Kwam, Yasharala, Rise Israel. And as always, Lord willing, on to the next video. Shalom.